Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'd like to talk to you today about how to deal with and fix a defaulted student loan. Now, first I want to tell you that I'm only talking about federal student loans. These are loans issued by the United States Department of Education or guaranteed by the Department of Education. If you have a private student loan, one that is not either owned or guaranteed by the federal government, then different rules apply, different tactics apply. This is only really for federal student loans. And I will also tell you that even if you have a federal or a federally guaranteed student loan, there are a lot of different kinds of loans. You have the direct loans, Stafford loans, Perkins loans, PLUS loans, and so forth. Different rules apply to the different kinds of loans. So one of the things about student loan law practice that you'll discover is that the rules for the different kinds of student loans are not consistent. So depending on what you have, if you have a PLUS loan, a parent PLUS loan, different rules apply than if you have a Perkins loan, for example. So it really makes a big difference as to what you have, and you need to know what you have, and that's again part of what we do in representing our clients. So first, let's talk about what it means to be in default. And again, some different rules apply, but generally, for most of the student loans out there, the federally or federal guaranteed student loans, if you're more than 270 days late, it's very likely you're going to be in default. Now, Perkins loans have a shorter default period, but for most loans, it's 270 days. Now, what I do is I look at the NSLDS transcript, and that's a place you can go to get a transcript of the portfolio of your student loans. We can see, looking at that transcript, whether or not your loans are in fact in default. So if they are in default, and we made that determination they're in default, we have two options. And one is called, and by the way, this is kind of unique in that most loans, if they go into default, you don't have the right to cure them. And student loans are kind of unique in that you have a right in almost every case to cure these federal or federally guaranteed loans, which is really kind of an interesting phenomenon. And I think a lot of people are not aware of that. You should certainly take advantage of it, because I think the big picture here is that Congress, wants people to be in compliance. They want people to get back into pay status. Interestingly enough, Congress has a very, very hard line about bankruptcy and student loans. Very difficult to bankrupt on them, but it is much, much easier to get a defaulted student loan back into current and pay status. So just an interesting observation there. And basically you have a couple of options. One is called consolidation, which is really where you actually take out a new loan. So when you consolidate your student loans, what you're doing is you're taking out a brand new loan. Usually what we'll do is we'll do one of the income-based payment plans so that we can get your payment down a little bit and move forward. But basically that's what a consolidation is. The other way is called rehabilitation, and that's basically where you sort of go into a probationary period where we would also come up with a income-based repayment plan. You pay it for about 9 months. Again, it varies a little bit depending on the loan, but essentially you make 9 months of what I would call probationary payments, and then your loan goes back into current pay status. The big advantage of rehabilitation is that your credit will be restored as well, whereas with a consolidation, it's going to negatively impact your credit. And again, may or may not make a difference to you, and we have to make a decision about which type of relief makes the most sense for you. But just big picture, consolidation is a new loan, and rehabilitation is sort of to restore what you have and to also restore your credit. So I would tell you that as a big picture, that if you have a student loan that's in default, the sooner you can contact me, the better, because first thing I want to do is to confirm that in fact it is in default, and the second thing we want to do is to figure out a way to cure that default, get it back into current pay status before things like wage garnishment and all that, and lawsuits and all that type of stuff starts to happen. It's much better to be proactive with these things, deal with the student loans in the default before the process really goes much further. So again, if you're in default, even if it's been years, and I've seen people that have not paid on their student loans in years and years, we can still undo that default, get you back into current status, change the payment, get you into something you can afford, and really get you back into pay status so you don't have things like wage garnishment and tax refund seizure happen to you. So if I can be of assistance to you in dealing with defaulted student loans, please feel free to contact me. My phone number is 770-393-4985, or you can email me at ginsberg@gmail.com. Thanks a lot.